How's it going, everybody? This is another one of my fun videos. This is a video on how to play the quads, the drumline quads. This spot is actually open. I've been doing it the last couple years for the drumline show, and we've had either upperclassmen that have had jobs to do or underclassmen that were a little too young to play. So I'm going to use this moment, or this time, to give you a brief little introduction to playing the quads. All right, let's get started. So the quads are simply 4 drums. Why they call them the quads. I'm going to give you a little close-up look at them. So you'll notice each drum has a specific size. So we go from little to big. I believe it's 8, 10, 12, and 13 inches. You can tune the drums however you want, as long as they are spaced apart. Some purists will tell you have to tune them in fourths or fifths. I just kind of tune them to how I like that they sound and kind of the natural ring of the drum. So, basic introduction is the high quad. Is this drum right here. There we go, highest to lowest. High. The next one, the second drum. The third drum is here. And the fourth drum is right here. So, high to low. Low to high. If I were to play these with 2 hands, depending on what I was playing, I would play these 2 drums with my right hand and these 2 drums with mainly my left. So if I want to go high to low fast, low to high, so that's how they're played. Now, the pitches are actually represented as notes depending on where they're at. So, the high note, or the highest drum, will be represented by the highest pitches. Now, these are all represented on the staff in the spaces. So, high, second, third, fourth. So this note right here is this drum. Second space is this drum. Third space, and fourth space. If I were to play this ta, 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 ta in rhythm with the drums, it would sound like this. Okay. So that's how they represent on the staff. Now once we got the notes down, we can add rhythms. And so you'll see my example of a rhythm is just above that. And it is ti 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 tika tika ta, or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now, when I write drumline music, sometimes I shorthand it, and I'm basically just going to take away the note hits. If I were to write snare drum music like this, you still know what the rhythms are, even though it doesn't have note hits. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that same rhythm and I'm going to add pitches to it. So let's say I want this here, that there, and then I'm going to rewrite this like this. Okay. So now we still have that same rhythm. T, 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 tika, tika, ta, except we have pitches now. So this is the high drum, second to high. This one switches between the 2. We have 2 together. So if you're wondering how that sounds, I can just put the second to lowest note and the lowest note together. So to give you an idea how that sounds, and still see if I can keep, oh, I can't keep the rhythm in there. Oh, now I can. So this is going to sound like this. Okay. So that's how the pitches are represented on the board, and that's how they're represented with rhythm. Okay, so now that we have that, there's a couple patterns that are practicable, that are a little easier patterns on the quads. I'll make sure I can set this up so you can see it. Okay. So there's a few basic ones. There is high to low, like we just did. So we can see this high. Okay. I'm going to play them fast with the signed hands. I'm going to use that same pattern, high to low, and I'm just going to add different rhythms. 8th notes, 16th notes. I'm going to play a low to high pattern. Some of you guys that really paid attention to our drumline show, one of the cadences we use is actually a pattern that becomes a melody. And melodies are very easy to for the other drummers in the drumline to follow because of these pitch drums. Okay? So in this case, this pattern that turned into melody sounded like this. Sped up. We also used a high-low pattern in our spinach cadence that just went 1, 2, 3. Very easy for the drum line to follow because it sounds like this. And then lastly, these drums and the role of the quads in the drum line have the option of improvisation. One of the famous ones we use in drumline is a rhythm called Junk in the Trunk, which is played just how it sounds. Junk in the trunk, junk in the trunk. There's space in that for the quad pair to improvise, and I'll show you what I mean. So, little mess up here and there, but so the 3 things are the order of the drums, putting these drums to readable rhythms on the board, and then also being able to improvise over them. Okay, so the last little thing I'm going to talk to you about is the stick twirl. Now I've had a lot of people ask me about it, and now I'm going to teach it to you, just to make this video a little longer and give you something interesting and fun to look at. So, the stick twirl is an optical illusion. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a stick, and I'm just going to stick it between these 2 fingers. Right in the balance, kind of in the fulcrum point, not too low like when you drum, not too high. It's going to be right in the middle, nice little balance. Okay? So what I'm going to do with this end and this end of the stick is I'm going to draw a circle. See, I'm drawing a circle like that. It also ends up I'm drawing a circle like that. So when I draw a circle, you notice my wrist is moving a whole bunch. Okay. When I put my fingers up, and the faster I go, the less my wrist has to move, and the more my fingers are moving it. Okay. So I'm drawing big circles, and as I speed it up, that's what it looks like from the side. Right. Now notice I have to stop every once in a while because my stick starts to drift. It starts to go way out here, and then it's lost. Okay? So you got to kind of find a way to keep that stick at the balance point. The optical illusion part comes in, is when I'm doing these sticks like this, and I turn them sideways. Okay? So if you were to look at me sideways, the illusion wouldn't be there. But if you look at me this way, the illusion is there. Okay? Now notice the hand movement. I'm going to show you very slow. Just basically doing this. I'm going forward with the stick, around in a circle. Forward, around in a circle. Once I start to move faster, then my fingers start to do it. And then when it's really speeding up, notice it's just my fingers wagging. I can show you up close what that looks like. from the front. So, the stick twirl. When you're rocking out, you want to be super cool, you can put that in the drums, and that may look something like this. So, stick twirl, cool little trick to learn. It's good to see you all again, or good for me to get to teach you all again. I hope you're doing well, still washing your hands. I'll have a few more of these videos coming depending on how bored I'll be. So those of you interested, drummers and non-drummers, this spot is open come next year during Drumline. So hope you guys are having a great quarantine. See ya.